What up, MVPs? Rico knows here. Going to talk to you guys about the Tuesday night games. Yes, it's Tuesday night. There will be football. It's Conference USA. MVPs know this. For those of you that are watching this video, you're not an MVP. It's pretty simple. You go to Patreon, you go to YouTube, you search Rico Knows, you change your life. That's what people are doing. Shout out to them. But this particular game, this particular video, I'm making it free. Watch it at 1.5 playback speed. It will be pretty long. I'm going to go in depth on every single team, every single player, every single prop, all that stuff. This is what we do for every weekday game. And you get this one as a free preview, so congratulations. Nonetheless, it is UTEP Miners, 2-5 overall, 1-2 in Conference USA play. They have had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. The last time they played, they beat Sam Houston and they got their first win on the season over an FBS level team. They had a previous win before that over an FCS team. That doesn't matter, but they're pretty terrible. UTEP Miners, shout out to them. And then we have Kennesaw State, 5-2 overall. 3-0 in Conference USA play, completely undefeated, looking like monsters. They made us a ton of money last Tuesday. We accurately predicted they would dominate FIU. That's exactly what they did. Shout out to them. They're 8.5-point favorites. It has since ballooned up to 10.5 points. You probably should have got it before it got over 10. I don't care either way. Check it out. It's a lock for me. I think Kennesaw wins this game. I think they dominate and handle this and eventually win by 2 touchdowns. Now, if you want to be safe, we'll talk about alternate spreads. I'll show you the chart here in a second. But for me, at 9.5 is when I jumped on it. I guess it opened at 8.5. I missed that. I apologize. But I got on it at 9.5, told MVPs about it yesterday in the early video. But here we go. We'll break it down for what it is. Does not matter who the leading passer is on this team. Malachi Nelson is not the starting quarterback for UTEP in this game. I'll go through every single player and everything else we talk about. Looking at results, yes, UTEP's been getting throttled in conference play. They tell you they play some good defense, but they struggle in offense, all that stuff. And then they beat Sam Houston and beat him pretty handedly. Who can't beat Sam Houston? Who can't do it? Okay. And then we look at Kennesaw going through Conference USA, beating some of the perennial powers and showing them, hey, yo, I'm here to stay. This is not a fluke. This is not a game. Let's go. So looking at these teams, let's pull up their statistics, if you will. I apologize for doing that. I should have opened it in a new window. That's on me. We'll be okay. We'll do it this way. So, UTEP statistics. In this game, they tell me Skylar Locklear is going to be the starting quarterback for this game. Crafty little guy. Skylar does have a little bit of dual threatish ability to him. He can run. He's a transfer from Austin Peay. He came over with the coaching staff. He was a backup over there. He wasn't even a starter. He was just a redshirt freshman at the FCS level. They brought him because they wanted to bring their Samsonite luggage. And he sat the bench for a little bit. They didn't believe in him. They go and get a chance to sign a former five-star quarterback in Malachi Nelson. Congratulations, he's here. And Nelson starts stinking it up, throwing more interceptions than touchdowns. Locker room starts looking around going, yo, we got Skylar here. Let's rock with Skylar. Skylar gets on the field, makes it look easy. Now he's the quarterback. Just led them to a win. He's the quarterback. I'm going to tell you guys, Skylar Locklear is not that great. He's not terrible. He's just not that great. You know what you're getting with him. It's a gunslinger kind of guy, but doesn't really make the plays that you need him to. There'll be mistakes. You'll just see it, and you'll be like, yo, what is this? It is Conference USA football during the week. That's what the hell it is, and that's what it looks like. It's pretty bad football. So shout out to Skylar Locklear. He does give them a little spark, more so than Malachi Nelson, but not much. Running back room. I'm on record for telling you the best running back on this team is Hassan Wilson. We may get a Hassan Wilson sighting. We may get a cameo, but it's like in those music videos back in the 90s, you see a dude in the background, you're like, yo, that was Puffy. Yo, that was Usher. Like that kind of shit. That's exactly what happens here. Hassan Wilson does not get the touches he needs, ever. And he's the fastest player on this team. Pretty much him and Odom, but he's the fastest running back. That's for damn sure. I even watched an interception. It was going to be a pick six. Hassan ran him down and made the tackle and saved that touchdown. But they don't play him enough. They don't like him. They're going to run Ashton Emery. Ashton Emery is a defensive tackle playing running back. He wears a cast. Dude's got one hand. He's got a cast. He can't even go out and catch passes. He runs around, and eventually, I guess he ran well against Sam Houston. Once again, who can't run well against Sam Houston? That team is terrible, one of the worst in America. So I don't believe in Ashton Emery as a running back at all. I don't. And if you can find his rushing yards, if it's somewhere in the 50 range, boo-boo to fool. I don't know how you get there, bro. I just don't. Shout out to them, especially if you're trailing in this game. We're going to abandon the run and then just start throwing it. Doesn't look good. Receivers. There's only one receiver I believe in on this entire team. Only one. And it's Kenny Odom. And he made us a ton of money last week. Shout out to him. Or 2 weeks ago. We were on Kenny Odom for over 40 yards. And we were sweating that joint out. Maybe it was 25 yards. We were sweating the shit. We were sweating like crazy. I think it was 40. And we're like, bro, are you going to get these 40? Are you going to get these damn 40? And all they keep doing is throwing these small screens to this guy. They are force-feeding the ball to Kenny Odom. He's a special kind of player. Force-feeding it to him. and he's just not getting the yards we need. We're frustrated, and boom, breakthrough. We get a breakthrough. We get the yards we need in the fourth quarter, and then he breaks for a touchdown. He ends up with 67 yards and a touchdown 2 weeks ago. We hit all our over bets, all our prop bets, all our anytime touchdowns, all that stuff. Eureka, we're screaming out, Rico knows, Rico knows, Rico knows. Well, what I know is this offense ain't it. And if you're going to throw it to Kenny Odom, please do so. Good luck. He's not a bad player. I like him a lot. But you see the 10 yards per catch. It's because he's getting screen passes behind the line of scrimmage. Just be prepared to know that if he's going to get 40 yards, 50, 60 yards, whatever the books say he's on, it's got to be all yak because they're not throwing in rhythm. They're not throwing routes. They're not running the route tree. This is a huddle film, and all I keep seeing is bubble screens. I don't know if you can run routes. That's the way UTEP is playing. That's just the reality of the situation. They have a coach in Scotty Walden that the writing might be on the Walden. The writing might be on the wall, man, because you got to get your shit together. This team doesn't look good. Kickers, it's not where it needs to be for me. I'm not too worried about it. What I would say is this team has a bigger issue getting in field goal range. One thing you won't see on the stat sheet here is their offensive line is bad. They have 2 local kids from El Paso. You should not be recruiting linemen from El Paso. They're just fat Mexican kids who grew up on beans and rice. I know. I'm a Mexicano. I'm from that area. I lived there in El Paso for 3 years. I can tell you, I watched the high school football in that region. You might find a skill player or two, but you should not be finding those linemen. You need to go somewhere else for your linemen. Go to Texas, like the rest of Texas. Not that part right there. Not the Juarez kids. That ain't it, bro. I'm just keeping it real. Not good offensive linemen on this team. Defensively, you're going to see a whole lot of Micah Davey making tackles. He's in the box. That's what he's here for. The rest of the defense is known for being somewhat stout, but when you think about it, it's against traditional offenses that just line up and run normal, like, how do I say it? I was going to say unorthodox, but it's just, do you line up and run in between the tackles? If you do, UTEP can tackle you. They can stop you. But if you start attacking the edges of this defense, if you do RPOs, if you do screen passes or any type of passes, you do anything, you're going to beat this defense. Where you're not going to really beat them is if you line up and just try to run at them. Kind of like when Miami tried to just run at Louisville. It didn't happen. Same concept here. They're pretty stout at the linebacker positions and in the box. Like they are, but they're not fast on the edges. So you can beat these guys to the corners and to the edges. And I think Kennesaw knows that. Now remember, they're on the road. UTEP flying all the way to Georgia. It's pretty far. And they're facing Kennesaw. Let's go talk about Kennesaw. Excuse me. We'll go in here. We'll pull up the Kennesaw players. Kennesaw has a really intriguing team if you have yet to watch them play. First thing I'm going to tell you is don't look up their seasonal stats. If you look up seasonal stats on Kennesaw's defense, it's going to look like they gave up a ton of yards and a ton of points. You might even see like average yards given up. And it's going to be a really high number. And I think Vegas has the algorithms that test all that stuff. Look, it's all skewed because they played Indiana in week 2, and they lost 56-9. Who doesn't lose 56-9 to Indiana as a group of 5 team? Power 4 teams are losing to Indiana by 50 points. We just saw it this week. We just saw it when they beat Illinois. So it's not bad. What's more indicative of Kennesaw is this 10-9 score in week 1. When they lost to a Wake Forest team that currently has 5 or 6 wins on the season, that was really impressive. So shout out to them. They barely lost. They probably should have won that game. And since that week and every single week since then, we've said the same thing about Kennesaw. They are so strong up front. They're so stout. Even a team like La Tech. La Tech is known for their defense. La Tech, everybody's convinced. La Tech has a good defense. Statistically has a good defense. You look at the players, they have a good defense. La Tech's defense is a shade better than UTEP's. I mean that. Like when we're comparing the players, the scheme, the results, everything, La Tech's a little bit better than UTEP. And look what Kennesaw did to that defense. They walked right over them dudes, 35-7. They're not worried about that defense. Then we saw FIU's defense, the second best defense in Conference USA. Number 1 is La Tech. Number 2 is FIU, according to the stats. And FIU's defense just shut down Western Kentucky the week before. And they couldn't stop Kennesaw. Why can't you stop Kennesaw? Kennesaw has state championship players. I need you guys to understand what I'm saying. I know these players at Kennesaw. They're here in Georgia. I know all of Georgia high school football through and through every single level from 1A all the way to 7A. I can tell you all the best teams. I always talk about this. Oh, I've been watching Vineyard since they won 2 state titles at Irwin County when they beat Brooks County. And shout out to OJ He's over at Georgia Southern right now. He was at Brooks when they lost. I can go on and on and on about every level of football. You guys will hear me from week to week. I'll be like, oh, that linebacker he played at Fitzgerald when they lost in the state title to Thompson. I know every state champ at every division in Georgia because I'm a fucking almanac, okay? That's what I do. This is what I do right here. So when I tell you Kennesaw has ballers and they've been lifting every weight there ever was, they're strong in the trenches. They are stuffing dudes. They are making it difficult to move the ball on these guys. They're great. And then offensively, how are you going to handle Kennesaw? They got weapons everywhere. So let's start with the quarterback. We don't know if Amari Odom is healthy. He looked healthy-ish after he came out the game last week, but they didn't bring him back in. They didn't need to. It was a blowout, and Dexter Williams was playing great. The good news here is they have two great quarterbacks. They really do. I watched Dexter Williams come off the bench for Georgia Southern last year multiple times with his team trailing and came back and won it because J.C. French had them in a hole, and then he built them out of it. And it was so good to the point where he just said, hey, I'm jumping in the portal because you guys just don't play me. I'm out this joint. You guys should be playing me more. So he comes to Kennesaw, and he wins the job. And he's been playing great, and he still loses the job during the season. The reason he loses the job is Amari Odom is Cam Newton. Amari Odom is Cam Newton, except he's a little fragile. So Amari Odom is 6'4", 200 pounds, dual-threat quarterback, can run and throw and do everything right. He just gets a little injured every now and then. He gets a little dinged up and he's out. What do you expect? His mom's a Hall of Fame basketball player. She's in the Cal Hall of Fame for basketball. She was in the WNBA. Dad played in the NFL, undrafted free agent, and he was playing football at Cal as well. So he's got an athletic pedigree, comes from a great family tree. He's an awesome player. I just hope he stays healthy. If he's healthy, he can ball out of control, completing 70% of his passes, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. What's really important is he has really good continuity with Christian Moss. If Christian Moss wants to get his yards tonight, you need Amari Odom to be playing. If Amari Odom's not playing, Christian Moss doesn't get his yards. So pay attention to the depth chart, pay attention to the injury reports. By all accounts, Amari Odom's playing in this game. If he's not playing, it doesn't mean Kennesaw's not winning this game. They're still winning the game because Dexter Williams is right there. He's one of the leaders on the team. He's also thrown 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. These guys got 5-to-1 interception ratios. They got 2 quarterbacks. You guys always hear this. If you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. I've been saying that to you guys for years now. Not this time. You got them. They're beasts. Shout out to them. Running back Coleman Bennett, transfer from Bucknell. He went from Bucknell to Rice. I told Rice running back coach, you found a gem. Shout out to you. He wrote me back. He follows me on Twitter. We get to talking. He's like, yo, Rico, help me find more guys. We're good. I started sending him more players. We got a relationship. I'm rocking with him. Coleman Bennett gets up and leaves because you didn't play him. Coleman Bennett's a baller. He wears number 0. He didn't get a bunch of carries last week. All he got was a screen pass that went for 70 yards and a touchdown because he's blazing fast. He's a problem. I don't think UTEP can run with him in any way, shape, or form. So Coleman Bennett's my guy. I hope they give him the rock. I hope he does great things. Alexander Diggs is the backup running back. He'll come off the bench. He's not bad. You don't lose a step there. The third running back is Chase Belcher. He played a little bit last week. I hope we don't see him tonight. I hope we give all the carries to Bennett and Diggs. Very good players, though. Receivers. I've been talking about Gabriel Binyard forever, him and his twin brother. I've thought the world of these kids. I didn't understand why Georgia wasn't recruiting them. I couldn't understand why any of the Power 4 teams didn't want these guys. They just look like studs, especially in high school. Back-to-back state champs. Just every year you knew those them Indian dudes were going to do it, bruh. And he's always been great. Now he's a senior. It's his year. And this is what I'm talking about. You got dudes. They're just physically developed, and they're here now. So you got Gabriel Binyard. He's a stud. He's a baller. Reminds me of Elijah Surratt, if I'm being honest. Just going to get his numbers, always get his yards, always beats people. He's always open. Shout out to Binyard. Christian Moss looks like an NFL wide receiver. He's 6'4", 6'3", something like that. Just tall and just flies. So I like the both of them. I wouldn't bet on anyone else. Revere does get receptions, but I wouldn't bet on anybody else. Just those 2 that I believe in. Kicking. They can kick, but not after 40 yards. Not a problem. They just keep scoring touchdowns. They don't really settle for field goals all that much. They just go and do their thing. But I wouldn't try to kick it. They got to use a different kicker, Kenny here, when they go over 50 yards. Defensively, they're just mean. Grown. Studs. Absolutely strong as hell. Everybody looks like they've been lifting weights. They look like a problem. They get to the quarterback. They make plays. I think they're a nightmare for teams up front. They're a nightmare, and they're well rested. That's probably the best part about it. The offense doesn't do all that big explosive plays like you think. The offense will just churn you out and beat you, and it gives the defense enough rest to recuperate, go out there full strength, rest, full strength. So it's not a lot of 3 and outs by the offense. Not a lot of punting going on. Not a lot of field goals. Not a lot of mistakes. Good football. A good football coach team. So I'm rocking with Kennesaw tonight big time. Now let's go to the book. So for the sports book, I'm using FanDuel just as a point of reference. You can use whatever book you use. I don't care what state you live in, what you got to see. Right, first and foremost, the spread works for me. It's 9.5. ESPN bet says 10.5. 9.5 is much better. I'm cool with it. I also like the alternate spread of -2.5. I'll show you what to do with that and how to parlay it. Anytime touchdown. I believe in a Coleman Bennett anytime touchdown. Gabriel Bingert's here, and I don't like it at minus money, but it's there. I would just stick with Bennett. And if you look at Bennett and you do a Kennesaw money line, you get to flip a unit right then and there. You don't have to get the whole script right. Remember, this is the part where shit gets tricky because I just told you which team's better. You know which team's better. We know it's Kennesaw at -375. We can rock with that all day. If you got 375 to put on Kennesaw, do it and get back 100. Got it. Okay? That's going to happen. There's nothing else needed here. If you want to make a unit, for me, a unit is $100. If you want to do that, that's how you do it. But for those of you guys who need more juice and get all into it, and you want to know every leg and all this stuff, if you want to get more surgical, you can. Just understand, every time you click that thing, you're just getting yourself that much further away from winning. Every leg. I see it all the time in the Bad Beats channel. We're on the Discord stage. I'm right here right now. If I go to Bad Beats, I'm 100% sure Bad Beats is going to be these long-ass parlays. Look at this. It's just going to be parlay after parlay. You're not going to see a Bad Beat straight across. It's parlay after parlay. And then if you go to the Wins channel, oh, they love to show you those parlays that hit. But we'll never see the parlays that missed. We'll never see it. Play my theme music. This guy, straight across. That's what he's doing. 3,500 to win 6,000. 5,500 to win 9,000. And this is the MVP that's tipping me out every week. A lot different from what you guys are doing. We got one MVP going, yo, Rico, I believe in 2 of the bets you said, or I believe in 1 of the games you said. I'm rocking with that. I'm all in. I give assessments on 65 games. He just picked 1 and walked away with $18,000. It's a different mentality. I get it. But some of you guys out here, you want to try to get it all right. That's cool. So who's going to score for UTEP? UTEP's either going to run one in with Emory here. It's very possible. And then there's also Kenny Odom there at 140. I don't feel the need to bet on UTEP. I think touchdowns are a premium. Skylar Locklear in the red zone does tuck it and run it in and score. That's very real. I think Christian Moss scores from far out. He does, but if you're in the red zone, I wouldn't rely on him to score. He just does it from far away, so shout out to him. Not trying to get the touchdowns all that right, and the reason for that is I don't know if scoring's all that premium. There's too many weapons to choose from, and I don't know how we get to 50 points. Now, I would do an alternate spread and an alternate under, but let's go over here. Alternate passing yards, first and foremost. Skylar Locklear, how many yards is he going to get? Well, he's going to get some yards. I'm just not going to believe in his yards. Like, it's going to happen, especially if they're trailing. Then they abandon the run and start throwing. They're going to get some yards. I think you're safe at 175, but do you really want to parlay that with anything? It's not a terrible spot to be in. Skylar Locklear is going to get 175. Now, Christian Moss, I'm on him for 30 yards. 2 receptions for Christian Moss. That's 2 catches for 30 yards. I'm on that right there for days. Now, Gabriel Bingard. This guy's always getting his numbers. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gabriel Bingard get 110 yards tonight. It's a plus 320. Is this the night that I tell you ladder Gabriel Bingard's yards? Not necessarily, I'm going to say ladder, but you can either do the slam dunk at 50 and flip a unit, or you could sit here and swing for the lottery ticket if you want to and start saying, all right, I'm going to ladder it. And if you don't know what laddering means, that's when the MVPs do this shit. They go like this on all these. And they say, we're going to ladder Gabriel Bingard to 125. And then they go straight bets. And they click on it like this, and they put 20 on every leg. And as he gets more and more yards, you get more and more return, right? So if you're looking at that, how many legs did I just pull up? I mean, it's an insane amount of legs, so let's be real. So I probably would stop at 110. It doesn't matter. So look, I'm just showing you for example here. Some of you guys, I'm trying to teach you when we say ladder, okay? You're going to get your initial bet put in plus what's left. So if he gets 50 yards, you're going to get $28. The next time you're going to get 32. So that already puts you at 28 and 32. That puts you at 50, right? 60, excuse me. So that's 40, 60. So you're already getting 60 back. But remember, how much did you push out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you put out 8 times 20, $160. You need to keep going to get your money back. You need to have him have a great day. So you're at 60 here, 80, excuse me, with the 18 plus the 20. Oh, we win another one here. So almost 40 here. And you get where I'm going with this. And eventually, like let's say he gets to 100, that's a 68 payout. But you would have already got all these other payouts with it. Some people don't do equal increments. They'll do it smaller as it gets bigger. So towards the back end, they'll only do $5. They'll do $6. They'll do $7. And I don't know what your unit sizes are. I'm just showing you. And maybe you don't need to do the ladder that high. That's also very true. Rico, I'm only laddering him to 100 yards. That's very true. You can do that all day. But you get what I'm saying here. I like Gabriel Binger tonight. I do. He's a weapon. He's to be trusted. Shows up every week, gets his numbers. I'm rocking with him for 50 yards, just so you're aware. Because I'm keeping it simple. This is a unit flip for me, and I'm stopping right there. That is a unit flip for me on a Tuesday night. I'm good. I don't need to get rich. I don't want to hear about how much money I'm in. No, I threw one unit on this, and I just watch the game and enjoy it for what it is. I just want to see 2 receivers going ham. That's it. That's how I get down. Kenny Odom, do I think he's going to get his yards? It's a gamble, man. They're going to force it to him like crazy. He's the only semblance of offense they have. 40 yards is very doable. Do I want to parlay that with other things that I know are going to hit? No, not necessarily. If I was to take Kenny Odom for 40 yards, I would go and take Kennesaw money line and keep it right there and flip that unit. So for me, I would then put 100 on that to win back 85. And that's if I think Kenny Odom's going to get the 40. It was a complete sweat last time against a much worse defense. This is a better defense. But they're going to be throwing the ball a little more. They're not going to be winning, trying to protect a win and a lead. So they run the ball with that defensive tackle at running back. And this time, they're going to be throwing it like crazy. And then I see some stats like this. You see this play here. Skylar Locklear's rushing yards. He is crafty. He does run the ball a fair amount. But he's playing a stout defense. Everybody's going to be covered, so he's going to tuck it and run. That's the mentality here. So they got him at a pretty good rushing number. I don't like it. Emery, is he going to get to 40 yards? I don't know. Let me tell you why I'm on Locklear's under rushing yards and passing yards. Because if he stinks it up, he's getting subbed out. He doesn't have this job solidified. There is quarterback controversy here. He can play only one half, and then they'll bring in somebody else. So if they're trailing and struggling, they will bench him and bring in Malachi Nelson. They do it all the time. So I'm going to be on his under, and I hope it works out for me. I wouldn't parlay that with anything. I'm just going to leave it alone by itself. They're straight across bets. I'll show you the chart here when I'm done talking about the book. So I'm not going to worry about passing touchdowns, passing yards. Locklear, 202. That's a very doable number, and I'm still on the under. I expect UTEP to come out here and get absolutely smacked. Absolutely smacked by Kennesaw. That's what I expect. But that is a straight across bet. That is not something, and it's not a full unit either. When I do player props like this, I do them for fractions of a unit. So I would say $20. I do them for $15. I do them for anything small. Like my unit size is 100. I don't mess with that at all. I get it. I do it. But it's not what you guys are envisioning. So when I miss on a prop, it's not the end of the world for me. It's not the end of the night where everybody's screaming and all this stuff. Nope. All I got to do is get my money line right. All I got to do is get my spread right or my alternate spread right. It's just a different strategy that I have. Okay. Player rushing yards. I don't like the UTEP rushing yards. I really don't. I like the under and the under. I just think that at some point they're going to abandon the run. We're talking about 2 guys that are fighting for their starting jobs to begin with. They have very viable backups that could get more carries from them. They're going up against one of the best defenses they've seen. So for me, I'm going to take the under rushing yards. I know the UTEP offensive line is bubble guts. I know they're bubble guts. Shout out to them. Player receiving yards. I like Moss, but 45 is pretty big. I'm going to take Bingyard's over at 67.5. He's a player. I think he can get 100, so I'm rocking with him. And Odom, 54 is a big number for Odom in this game. It's probably going to happen just because they're going to force feed it to him as they're trailing and stuff, and he can play. But I don't want to sit around and wait for this shit to happen in the fourth quarter or something like that. Normally, I would say I'm good on Odom for 100, but it's just I don't trust them right now. So I'm good. I'm off that shit. Total player receptions. Binyard's going to get over 4.5 receptions. He always does, but it's a minus 152. It's not something you really want to believe in. It's not something you need to go too crazy on. You can do a Binyard and a money line, and it's not going to give you, it gives you plus 107. See, that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty good spot to be. You don't have to get the whole script right. You can just do that and hope they get the ball to Binyard and just chill. The only thing that's going to hurt you with Binyard's numbers is if this game is not competitive for more than a half. If UTEP is absolute dog shit, it's going to get away from them real quick, and they'll stop throwing the ball and just run it for the rest of the game. So let's hope that doesn't happen. What I'm banking on is UTEP gets a lot of 3-and-outs. UTEP can't stay on the field, can't keep a drive going, whether that be sacks, holding, penalties of some sort, turnovers. Just everything goes wrong for UTEP, especially on the road. I don't trust UTEP at all, so I'm expecting at least 2 or 3 more series because of their miscues for this offense, and that gives me an opportunity to get more targets and more touches here. But this one's definitely over as well. Kenny Odom's going to get more than 4.5 receptions. He always does. They're throwing screens to this guy every chance they get, so that one also feels like a slam dunk. If you took the 2 of those and you parlayed it with the money line, it seems like it can't miss. That's what happens. You start making these bets. You think you're going to flip a unit, and now you're like, wait, I'm going to get 3 units. I'm going to get 4 units, 5 units, and all you're going to get is a bad beat entry. That's what happens when you put too many legs out there. But those 2 feel like really good bets to make. You could turn this off and just see that at plus 164. That's a standalone bet, probably a quarter of a unit for me. That right there is probably, and it's not on the chart, but that's probably $25 to get back 40. Just right there. Just see some guys catching passes. That's pretty cool. Shout out to them. Passing rushing yards. I think Locklear is getting sacked in this game. I don't like his rushing yards, and I think those sacks, I'm gonna go under 246 for sure. Alternate spread, I'm on Kennesaw at minus 2.5. It's a minus 320. Just win by a field goal. It's a minus 320. That's my no sweat bet. I'm rocking with it. Shout out to me. You can do that in the parlay instead of the money line. You're getting a little bit more juice than the money line. Do you feel the need to do that? Who knows? So if you come in here, I'd say the greatest receptions bet or yards is Gabriel Binyard over, and you're at 134. At that point, you're at a plus 134, and you know this is going to hit. We pretty much do. Alternate total points. Remember, I'm on the alt under. For those of you who aren't prop bettors, you can go in here and take an alt under. You're looking in this range, and you don't want to go below 56.5. Remember, 7 touchdowns is 49 points. So the next increment you want is 56.5. Do not go beneath 56.5. Even if you want to get to plus money or near that, don't do it. This is a silly bet to make at 55.5. You go to 56.5. This is a great place to be. This is great value. This is Walmart right here. This is where you want to be. Kennesaw minus 2.5, alt under 56.5. Really good spot to be. I just don't know how UTEP contributes to this number. I feel like Kennesaw's defense is going to be stout. Their offense is going to have the ball for a significant period of time, running the rock and just keep moving it. This is a good spot to be in right here at minus 108. It's fine. We're getting surgical now, and I don't like getting surgical. You want to win something. You want to get it right. Make sure you make the smart bet and the right thing there, okay? So total yards. I'm on UTEP's under for total yards. It's 341. I'm just on the under. I don't see them effectively running this ball, and I don't think they get to the 341. So I'll stick to the under. It's a pretty low number, but that's a straight across bet for me. First half spread, I love it. Be up by a touchdown at halftime. Kennesaw should be up by a touchdown at halftime, no problem. They are a very dominant team. They've played well all year. All their wins have aged well. And the inverse has happened for UTEP. Their lone win doesn't age well, and a lot of their performances don't age well. So I'm going to take that first half spread heavy. I'm probably on that for a unit or two, to be honest. I really like the first half spread. First quarter spread, a little scarier, but I'm still on Kennesaw. I don't see them ever trailing in this game, so I'm going to take them at minus 2.5 for the 128. This is a no-sweat game for me. One of my favorite games on the slate the entire week. All right, so let's pull up the chart just to show you what it looks like. This is for one game. I'm obviously going to add the second game to the chart. If you're new to the page and don't understand what's going on here, this is Rico Knows Vegas Got It Wrong corner. We're going to go ahead and put in a bunch of entries here, put in entries here, here, and here. Pay attention to the percentages of how accurate we are in each column before you start tailing things. Just understand what you're doing, okay? This is 49%. We're going to get plus money on some of these. We're going to be near even money on some of these. You don't want to eat everything. Think of this as a menu. Do not order everything off the menu. Do not blind tail the chart. Do what you believe is right. Do what you see is right. If you've never seen these two teams play, you have no business betting on this game. That's number one, because you need to have your own opinion on these players. You need to have your own opinion and assessment on these teams. If you've never seen these teams play and you go, yeah, I'm going to tail Rico on a Tuesday night, I trust him, you're an idiot. You're going to lose all your money and get the fuck out. Like, get out of here. Stay away from my platform. I don't like you. You don't have any input. You don't have any knowledge of the game because you don't put in the work. This is why the MVPs who are here year-round, the MVPs who are here all the time, they don't have a single complaint when they miss a bet. You know why? Because it's their information that they applied. It's their research that they applied. It's their assessment of teams and players that they applied, combined with mine. If you don't have any input on something, like I see a guy be like, yo, Rico, I didn't get a chance to watch the video, man. Who are we on tonight? Shut the fuck up. You didn't get a chance to watch the video? You shouldn't be making any bets tonight. There's 65 games on the slate or 44 games on the slate this week. Like, you don't have any business doing that. You don't have to do it. Just leave it alone. There's other games to bet on. Okay? So, enough of that. You're here watching. We have some money line parlays. Disregard, that's in the early video. Shout out to the other MVPs who got all that. I won't show you the actual chart because that's right here, and that's got all the games broken down by spread, by all kinds of nonsense. We're not doing all that. It's a full chart of everything. Become an MVP, you'll see it. But Kennesaw State, dual wide receivers, I've already told you. I like both wide receivers, alternate yards. Give me Moss at 30, Bingard at 50. That gives me a plus 101. Probably my favorite bet to make. I'm going to cheer for Moss. He's the only guy that I'm worried about because I know Bingard's getting the 50. So all I'm doing here is flipping a unit on a wide receiver to get 30 yards. That's it. I'm flipping a unit on that right now. I'm not worried about Bingard. Bingard's always going to get 50. It's Moss that I'm betting on. And that's going to give me plus 101 money. When the bet for Moss to get 30 yards is a minus 250, I'm combining it with something I know is going to hit, and I'm getting plus 101 money. That's you guys understand how that works. So, full unit for me. I am doing the Odom for 40, Kennesaw money line, another unit for me. Bingard, over 67 yards. That's probably 2 units for me. I hope it hits, bruh. Hope it hits because I'm rocking it for 2 units. Under, I'm on like a quarter of a unit or so. First half spread, really believe in this one at minus 114. That's my slam dunk of the night. I think we'll be up by a touchdown at halftime. First quarter spread, so it's a bet. It's worth making. It's not nothing too crazy. Over here, I've got Kennesaw money line with Kenny Odom plus 40 yards. Oh, same play. Excuse me. That shouldn't be there. And that's why we don't screenshot stuff until after the video. Thank you. Sorry about that. Next ones are Skylar Locklear's. I told you I'm on his unders. I hope he has a rough day and he gets pulled from the game. Ashton Emery, I'm on his unders. I hope he has a rough day and gets pulled from the game. Kenny Odom, over 5 receptions. Slam dunk bet. They always throw screens to him. It's real. So that one's like, it's a minus 148, Rico. I don't give a fuck, man. ROI is ROI. It's green as fuck. Like, that's green. I'm taking that joint all day. It's probably the one bet that's not going to miss out of everything out here. Win or lose, doesn't matter who wins, doesn't matter. Quarterbacks get benched, whatever. Kenny Odom's going to get 5 receptions. Total yards, I am on the under for UTEP total yards. UTEP. Excuse me. Team total yards under 341. Then the value bets. These all seem so right. They seem like they can never miss. They always do. This is 27% hit rate. That is a reality. When you guys make parlays, they hit at less than 30%. That is a reality. And we've been keeping stats on this for years. And they hit at 32% or 28% this year. Somewhere around 32%. Anytime you see these plus numbers like this, you might think you're hitting on them and you're doing great. You're not. And we got proof. So there you go. Here it is. Moss for 30 yards, Bingard for 50 yards, Coleman Bennett for an anytime touchdown and Kennesaw money line comes out to plus 278. You need all that to happen. Sure. Putting 0.1 of a unit on it. It's on the board. I'm putting 0.1 of a unit, $10. Over here, these are slam dunks. These are things I believe in. You can go out and do whatever you want with it. These are alternate spreads and alternate yards. You can parlay all 3 together. I don't have that on the chart parlayed together. I wonder what it comes out to. I probably owe you that answer. Let's make that happen. So, alternate spread, minus 2.5. We'll just scroll up. Bear with me. Kennesaw, minus 2.5. Alt yards were 50 for Bingard and 30 for Moss. Once again, you're at a plus 161, and the only thing I'm sweating here is Moss. You are parlaying 3 things that hit at 68%. Very dangerous, very scary thing to do. 2 legs makes sense. 3 legs, very scary. So what's the one leg that's going to miss here? Probably Christian Moss. So if you get rid of Moss, you're at a minus 119. That is a very good place to be if you're doing that for a whole unit. And it comes out to $84 return on 100 out, or 0.84 of a unit back on a 1 unit bet. That feels like a really good Tuesday. You're not going to get rich on a Tuesday, not going to change your life on a Tuesday, but you can go green and keep moving forward. Shout out to you. Thank you for being MVPs. Thank you for believing in me. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. I'll see you guys in the next video. It won't be free. Peace.